Hello, everyone, and we got some juicy news regarding crypto for you tonight. Bitcoin, even though it's about 30% off from hitting all time highs, 40% off from hitting all time highs in the United States, it's been hitting ATHs in countries worldwide, not just one or two, but several. This is one of the side effects of the Middle Eastern war, and it's seen as fairly promising for Bitcoin because certain countries can't actually get their hands on USD. Like their money in relation to Bitcoin has basically tanked. So it's proving its value as an inflation hedge in different countries, despite its volatility. Now, this won't apply in the United States because our money is fairly stable. Yes, people are going to bring up inflation, but it's nowhere near to the extent in these other countries. But these other countries are feeling where Bitcoin can actually help them out, obviously. So since bottoming around 16,800, it's displayed a lot of resilience, but it's still about 39% below the all-time high. So in Turkey, Egypt, Nigeria, Argentina, Lebanon, and Pakistan, it's actually hit all-time highs. And these countries consist of over 700 million people. So I don't think you're going to be able to convince people worldwide that crypto is not useful. Because in these countries that consist of over 700 million people, about 1/10 of the Earth's population, twice the population of the United States for all these countries combined, it's actually higher than all-time highs. Now, I don't know if this will actually affect the price of Bitcoin in Europe and the United States because these currencies have also devalued against both the euro and the US dollar. But this will probably have global ramifications. These countries are probably seeing maybe Bitcoin is a alternative to the US dollar when we can't get US dollars, and that might be what the US government is really afraid of at this point. So they're actually hitting all-time highs. It's getting more and more valuable. And if these smaller countries and maybe even mid-sized countries start switching to Bitcoin as a reserve instead of the US dollar, the US could be facing tough competition. So while it won't face competition back at home and in the Western world, in other parts of the world, I don't think China's ever going to adopt it because they want their currency to dominate. But Russia is another opportunity. Ukraine's another opportunity. A lot of the Middle Eastern countries are opportunities like Jordan, Syria, all these places, and a lot of South American countries, Venezuela, Argentina, which is actually mentioned here, Colombia. I think it is possible that Bitcoin slowly becomes more of their official currency rather than the US dollar, despite its volatility. So the chart also showed that BTC has reached its all-time highs against the Lebanese pound and Pakistani rupee. And it's worth mentioning that these figures are equivalent to the current price of Bitcoin and the meteoric rise of cryptocurrency in these countries. And, even when the war ends, I don't think this is going away because people are realizing that long term, their governments are unstable, their money's very unstable, and if you don't put it in Bitcoin, it could just all vaporize within, a few minutes. And even the governments themselves, I think they'll start taking on it because they know that their own, the politicians are smart. They realize that their own money is not stable. And if they somehow run out of the country because they're kicked out of power, they actually need value to go with them. So they're going to have Bitcoin instead of their own currency as well. And in time, this will actually evolve for Bitcoin to be more of a state coin for a lot of these currencies. This is a big implication, and I don't think it can be ignored. And this is why the US and the IMF and maybe the BIS is very, very afraid of this. So the thing is you have annual inflation rates of over 50% in a lot of these countries. But as more of these countries take up Bitcoin, the US is going to be finding it really hard to go against Bitcoin and crypto. Now, I don't know what this says for other cryptocurrencies, but I think the rising tide of Bitcoin is going to lift everything up. But for right now, the use case is pretty much Bitcoin alone at this point. And that's to be expected. It probably has the most value worldwide. None of these other coins have really made that much of a splash. And they're basically wanting something to preserve their value, while their own currency goes down. And like I said, it's not only going to be retail people, it's also going to be government officials that actually hold Bitcoin. And when that happens, that big changes and big switches are coming. So that's actually pretty darn big news for Bitcoin, that it's hit the all-time highs in not one, but like 5 or 6 countries, and there's probably other countries that are on the precipice of just depending on Bitcoin overall to be their currency. So I want to talk a little bit about my investments. I have some VET, some MinSwap, some that's a pair that I'm liquid staking anyway. Well, not liquid staking, but like yield farming. I have I have ADA MinSwap, VET, Vex. I think Vex is still dead, so I'm not really just VET itself. I also have some Tron that someone donated, some XRP that someone donated from years ago. I think like 200 XRP, a couple hundred Tron. I have a stack of Floki and a stack of Caspa, and now I've bought like $30 worth of SNEC. So I'm not going to talk about like which one of these are going to produce me the most absolute value, but in terms of ROI percentage wise, which of these coins do I actually think is going to actually give me the most ROI? You know, I'm honestly going to say it's probably going to be my meme coin bag that makes me probably the best ROI. Not the most money, because I have way more money invested in like, ADA, MinSwap, and VET. But, like even though my meme coin bag is only about $1,000, I sincerely believe it can get me $10,000 or more, possibly quite a lot more. I mean, I do want to buy a couple more SNECs just because, like the whole fun thing, like I wouldn't mind $200 of it if someone donates, or if I buy a couple more with Cardano. But the Floki bag is like $800 now, up from $600. The Caspa bag is probably like still around $200 because Caspa's been bouncing back and forth. The Doge bag is like quite a bit up. It's probably like $300 now or so. So I think like the Doge, Floki, SNEC bags are going to have the best ROI of any of my bags. Now Doge won't actually be too much because Doge is a fairly large coin. I'm still expecting 50 cents a dollar from that. So I'm expecting 10 to 12x from that. The Floki stuff I think can actually grow a little bit more depending on like, what Elon Musk does and just how that meme acts. I think that can get like 20 or so x, maybe 30. And the SNEC bag, even though it's only $30, I can see that growing to like $1,000 or more, actually. It depends on how the Cardano ecosystem does, but I actually believe Cardano is going to grow, and I think SNEC may just grow as much as MinSwap. I think MinSwap is the other one that could actually overtake my meme bags, because MinSwap is a very small coin too, and I really believe in the Cardano ecosystem, and I think it's going to grow pretty massively. As the liquidity for this goes up, the Cardano meme coins are going to go up as well as obviously its primary DEX. So based on that, like I do actually believe that despite I have like most of my bag is not in meme coins, obviously it's Cardano, MinSwap, VeChain. I do think like there's a very, very good chance that my SNEC bag, my Doge bag, and my Floki bag, I eventually will cash out for a higher ROI than any of my other bags. I know it's weird for me to say, and I'm still not all about meme coins, which is only why a small part of my bag is in meme coins right now. But, like given the chances, and if I cash out right on time on all these cryptos, I do actually think my meme bag is going to be my highest ROI bag. So, keep that in mind. I think allocating 10, 20% of your bag in meme coins, I think is fine. You got to pick and choose, and you got to cash out on time. Like if my SNEC goes up like 30x, I'm cashing out for $1,000, not holding out for like, 10,000 or whatever, because I only put like $30 in. If I put more in, like I'll cash out when it gets to that point. So as long as I don't get too greedy on my meme bags, I think I'm going to do really, really well on them. Also, the Fed, if you haven't known, has given the green light for crypto investing and like high risk asset investing with today's meeting. They didn't really say anything specifically about crypto, but them indicating that they're going to cut rates 3 times in 2024, probably bringing it down to like 4.5 or so, has given people more courage, let's say, to invest in risky assets. It definitely is a positive boost. I think like just the market's always forward looking. I think rates are going to start coming down and people are going to be more willing to actually borrow money to buy assets. And I think the bullish sentiment is going to last for multiple years as rates come down in 2024, 2025, and 2026. And of course, like there's the halving and everything else, spot ETFs and all this other stuff. It is getting to be the perfect storm. The economic data actually look really good right now. Jobs are strong. The jobs report is strong. Inflation is coming down. Gas is coming down, and that's not really because of an election year. Gas is coming down because the demand in China is like really low right now, and so is the demand in Europe because they're switching more to renewables. While the U.S. has hit 13.2 million barrels a day, which is peak production. Like our production is an all-time high, so that's really affecting things as well. So overall, crypto is doing very, very well in terms of an asset class right now. And I think it's going to do even better next year. The financial conditions are perfect right now. The Fed's basically given a green light on risk assets. I don't think they're trying to kill them anymore. And inflation is actually coming down. People's, I think, view of the economy is switching to slightly more optimistic now than it was before. And if you look at people's spending habits, they're not spending like, the economy is going to crash. They are definitely spending like the economy is actually still pretty good. Even adjusted for inflation numbers, they're not cutting back their spending. They're spending just as much as ever. Maybe it's because they're used to easy money, because they've had low interest rates for a long time and it hasn't hit them yet. But I think some of them are just not doing all that bad. Overall, the economy is not really bad right now. And I think we're going to get a very soft landing, if there's even a landing at all, because I don't really believe in a recession next year. I think we got one in 2022, and we kind of readjusted. So that's the news for right now. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.